So what happened, oh, this is a helmet right here. The outside, this is a steel pot. That's what it's called. I'm Eric Hollenbeck. Welcome to Tales from the Ox. So this is a story of Willard. He was 2nd Platoon, M-79 man. Remember now, our company is 68 guys, and we're broken up into 3 platoons. 1st platoon, 2nd platoon, 3rd platoon, 20 each probably. And then that little entourage over there that's the company commander's entourage. And I have tried to say this before, but we are an experiment. 1968. If a company, and we weren't the only experiment, if a company can be LRPs, LRRPS, Long Range Reconnaissance Patrol, over an extended duration of time. So we never came out of the jungle, ever. We were always in the jungle. I mean, my company has 3 Bronze Stars for 3 campaigns that we did. I got all 3 of them on my uniform. And that's because one campaign would start and end this day. I don't know any of the days. And this day, and the very next day, the next campaign would start. See, there's no lag in between. There's no going somewhere and getting out of the jungle. We just stayed in the jungle. Okay. We did it, and we were good at it. Then every day, not then, but or every other day, we walked into an ambush. That's what was our job. Go until we found the enemy. Like I said, Willard was, I don't know where he was from, Midwest, I don't know, the middle of the country someplace. And he was a farm boy. And he wasn't no taller than me, but he was straight up and down. He was just this rock of a guy. Yeah, I'm talking straight up and down. God dang, and the nicest kid you could ever meet. He was, and I've told you before, because I was a radioman, nobody had talked to me. Well, Willard was kind of the same. In that 2 things, he was really quiet. That you really had to work to get anything out of him, and secondly, he carried that dang M-79, and that M-79, Ben will put it up on the screen for you. It's this little short weapon. It's got a barrel this big around, and what it does is it launches grenades. Big grenade bullets. And it made the damnedest sound. Thump, 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 thump. And he had to load one in and put it back together, then break it and load one in, and that's what I think. Because in basic training, I shot one, but the problem with this weapon is a great weapon for the jungle, because what it did, not grenade rounds, but anti-personnel, and that's what he carried. Fragmentation would go out 20 feet and then explode. 30 feet and explode. You know, they wouldn't go very far, and then they'd explode and keep right on going. So it would cover a swath. All right. Well, the NVA, North Vietnamese regulars, ain't stupid. Ain't stupid at all. And please understand, folks, they are not, what did they call those guys? Viet Cong. These are not rice paddy guys. These are soldiers, just like us. They got helmets. They got small artillery. They got mortars. They got radios. They got all this stuff, just like us. They got packs, rucksacks. They're carrying their food. They got uniforms. They're exactly like us. So the day I want to tell you about, we're going up a little hill, and and we hit an ambush. I mean, that happened all the time. That's what we lived with. That was what we did. And 90%, I don't know, most of the time, the ambushes were very poorly set up. Very poorly set up. I mean, we just stumbled on them. We surprised them. They surprised us. They just shot first. That's all. Very poorly set up ambushes, and this was one of those. Twice in my tour, we walked into heavy ambushes where they were totally set up and totally communicating with each other. But anyway, we'll tell that story some other time. So we walk into this ambush, and we all hunker down. We're in full rucksacks, folks. I got my radio. I'm still wearing 80 pounds or so on my back and trying to fight uphill. We always fought uphill. Uphill sucks. Uphill really sucks. Once, and I told you that story, we had the upper ground. Uphill, you're going into the breath of the dragon. When you're uphill, downhill, you're throwing the breath of the dragon. Anyway, I'm sorry, that was a rabbit I chased. So we all hunkered down. And Sergeant Baldwin's right here next to me. He's got my radio. Bang, bang, I'm laying down some cover fire. I mean, you can't see anything. But this particular hill was a little bit different. Can I go back with you guys just a little bit? In the jungle, you can't see anything. 10 feet away from you, that's green. you got no idea what you're shooting at. None. You got no idea where the fire's coming from. And the vice versa works. They have no idea where they're shooting, and they have no idea where our fire is coming from. It's a funny game. But this hill didn't have the heavy vegetation that the jungle has, the undergrowth. It had tons of trees and everything's wonderful. We got plenty of stuff to hide behind. They got plenty of stuff to hide behind. Everything's great. And I'm here, bang, bang. Baldwin's got my handset, and I happen to look over, and there's Willard, and I hear that thump, thump. Well, now, folks, the M-79 for a combat veteran is the stupidest weapon ever made. Because it's so short, throwing out such a heavy round that the rear sight on it, the rear sight is yay tall, 6 inches tall, say. So you got to poke your head up, hold the gun like this, and thump, thump. Well, it makes that noise nothing else makes. I mean, you think my antenna is bad. I'm thinking, Willard, God dang it, get your head down. Get your head down. What in the heck are you doing? Well, sure enough, somebody zeroed in on him. And I was going to say Willard was my friend. No, I didn't have no friends. Zero. Baldwin, that was it. And he never talked to me. So, no, you didn't want to make friends. You didn't do that. But a couple, 3 times on resupply days, I had talked to Willard. And he told me about growing up on this farm in the state or whatever, and he and milking. They had a few cows and all the stuff he did on the farm. Because I had been on a dairy, and I could relate to all of this. And he and I talked for a couple of minutes. You know, he was just a really easygoing farm boy. And I told him, Willard, get your god dang head down. Shut that damn thing up. Well, sure as hell, I glanced over again. Bang, bang, glanced over again, and I see him all of a sudden get hit right square in the forehead. AK-47 round. And I see his head rear back. And I think that's it. He's a mannequin now. He's not a walker no more. He's a mannequin. Damn. Oh, well. It's amazing how I did that in my brain. Anyway, I'm sorry. So what happened, this is a helmet right here. The outside, this is a steel pot. That's what it's called. And this, look at it, people. This is a plastic. Can you hear that? Look, I can scrape it with my fingernail. And this is a plastic liner, and it's got all the webbing, and that's what keeps the helmet on our head, so that we can wear it. And we adjust these so that, dang, they fit tight. They, I don't mean they fit. So even under combat, I never use this thing. This would be stupid. No, they never came off, ever. A lot of guys slept in their helmets. I don't remember if I did. So the round, I'm talking an AK-47. That's like a 30 caliber round, I think. I know it's 7.62 NATO round. Our M16s were shooting little rounds. We were shooting 25s or 22 calibers, but they were center fire 22 calibers with a lot of powder behind them. And the M16 travels so god dang fast, and it's such a small round. If it hits a hard poof of air, it moves. I don't know that for true, but they were different rounds. But the AK-47 was like a 30-30 slug, a Winchester 30-30. They were big slugs. Whammo! Right through the forehead. Now, evidently, it might have come in whammo this way, but I didn't see his head go anything but just straight back. And it got trapped. That round bend got trapped between this stupid plastic liner and the steel pot, and went whoo, clear back over here. This thing's hard as heck. Look, this is steel. There's a steel pot. And it was a bump looked like a gopher hole in the ground, folks. Exactly like a gopher hole. Here, and stop back here. This bump in the steel pot. If that had happened to you and I, folks, it would have broken our necks. Willard had no neck. I mean, he was built just muscle from here to here. But boy, did it ring his bell. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, instead of dropping, because I'm watching all this, and instead of dropping, he shakes his big old head and stands up straight. He's weaving back and forth, but he stands up straight in the middle of the killing zone. He's got his M7, he never let go of it. M79 hanging at his side, and he starts staggering uphill to the ambush, to where they are. He gets 3 or 4 steps and then turns around, all drunk-like, still weapon at the side, everything, and staggers down the hill, trips over something, and then rolls out of the killing zone. And for that, 30, 40 seconds, maybe a minute. Ben, the entire hill went silent. The entire hill. Nobody fired. We didn't fire, they didn't fire. Everything went silent, dead silent. And I got my head up now. I'm watching this. And at 19 years old, it dawned on me. Here's the punchline, folks. We, that means the NVA, and that means 101st Airborne. We, the two of us, had not lost our humanity. We were pounding on the gates of hell, but we hadn't gone that extra step yet. I mean, they could have picked it. Good Lord, he's standing up, people. Nobody fired a shot. And the minute he fell and rolled down the hill, then the whole hill exploded again. And we're shooting and they're shooting. And at the end of it all, you folks want to know how it ended. 5 minutes later, and they figured that the ambush was stupid. We figured that the hill was stupid. They faded off and over the back of the hill and left. And we regrouped and then walked up to the top and made camp on the hill. And then walked off of it the next day. Every day we did that. Fight like banshees to get up the hill, make a camp, and then walk off of it the next day. And by the way, the start of the story, I mean, he was fine. Had a hell of a concussion probably, I don't know, but he stayed out there with us and never went. We never medevaced him back, and no blood, no nothing. But you couldn't talk to him for a week because his ears rang so bad. He couldn't hear a word you were saying. Okay. Thanks for watching, folks. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And you can also watch videos here and here.